swish, ice tray showing, ring within reach, brace for blast. Riding through the city, we built to last. Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show, where the game runs deep, truths unfold, grind on the field, hustle on court, Atlanta stands tall, that's real sport. Mercedes-Benz Dome, fans wild loud, ATL united, soccer game proud, through the blood, sweat, tears we roll, every match, every game, players' heart, they soul. Georgia roots, deep as maple tree, hoops to home runs, touchdowns free, basket net sways, back cracks clear, victory echoes, always here. Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show, where the game runs deep, truths unfold, grind on the field, hustle on court, Atlanta stands tall, that's real sport.
Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I am your host, the Minister, Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God for those of you who decided to join us here on another live broadcast of the Real Talk Sports Show. We're going to chop it up. We're going to talk some Hawks. We're going to talk some Falcons. We're looking to bring him in from on the road. He's traveling. He's doing what I was listening to one of the sports guys talk about the head coach Kevin Stefanski and his press conference, and the guy was like, it was Buck Baloo from 680. He was like, yo, man, that guy should not be at a press conference. The Falcons should have had that already. He should be where D-Let is at right now, or just arriving there. He should be in Mobile, Alabama, and he should be getting ready to watch the Senior Bowl as the Falcons get ready to look to update their roster. Now, I'll talk about this in the second half, but what you guys really think about Kevin Stefanski, big press conference today. He looked sharp. Heard he had a nice suit. The gray beard was trimmed, haircut nice, and the family, just a real well-groomed fella. But at the end of the day, the question is going to be, can he coach this Falcons team back to the playoffs and hopefully in the not-too-distant future, like this year or next year, into a situation where they would actually be a legitimate deep playoff contender. So that's going to be really the question for Mr. Stefanski. Like I said, I'm glad the guy was suited and booted. I'm all for that. You know me, guys. I'm all about the proper look of the haberdashery. So I'm all for that. But at the end of the day, I still want to make sure that this guy is going to bring us a winning formula here with the Atlanta Hawks. Excuse me, with the Atlanta Falcons. So we'll see what goes on with him as we go forward. Well, speaking of the Hawks, we're going to talk a little about the Hawks. The Hawks, break them up, baby. They are on a 3-game winning streak. Man, much needed. This Hawks team has been really terrible leading up to Trey's return, and then after his return, the team just went to an absolute tailspin. They went from being a couple of games over 500 to being, at one point, I think as many as 4 or 5 games under 500. They're now creeping back after this 3-game win streak to they are now just 2 games under 500. Couple more wins under their belt, and they could get to that seaworthy kind of break-even point. And I think if they can get there, the Hawks, the way their schedule is set up, they were backloaded with a lot of home games. So, the good news is they have a lot of home games coming up. So us here in Atlanta that want to see them, it's wonderful that we will have a chance to do so. The bad news is, until very recently, this team have been terrible at home. Now, to their credit, they have won the last set of homes. So hopefully this will break this, this string of playing poorly at home and doing well on the road. When I say well on the road, they're actually above 500. And really, at the end of the day, in order to be a playoff team that's going to make a deep run, you really have to have a situation where your team is able to win the majority of the games at home, hopefully around 600%, so 6 out of 8 times at home, and then be right around 500. If you do that, that will put you in the win column right around the high 40s for games. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at social media. Stupid Man says, hello, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Appreciate you, man. Anybody wants to comment, we're going to do something a little different. I got some co-hosts coming on, but they won't be coming on until later in the broadcast. Like I said, we got special guest, D. Orlando Ledbetter, who's the embedded beat writer for the Atlanta Falcons. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to set it up that, yes, you who are watching the show right now, you were able to join us on the broadcast because I don't have my phone set up. So I actually can bring you into the broadcast just like Zoom. So here's what I do. Here's what I'm going to do. Let me speak slowly. I'm going to pop it right up here on social media. This is the link to actually join us in the studio. If you come on, now here's the thing, you got to have some protocol. If you come on, you can't really bad language. You need to be properly dressed because, like Zoom, people can see you. So, don't come on real crazy. And if you say, hey, man, I want to chop it up with you, get on the Real Talk Sports Show, bang, there's the link right there. I'll pop it up on the screen. You copy the link, put it into your browser on your laptop. If you're doing that, I'll see you in the green room and bring you on, or pop it up, paste it on your mobile phone or mobile device. And in fact, the same thing, you'll pop in the green room, you pop in, and the audience will not only be able to hear me and see me, but they will be able to hear you and see you. Now, good news, just in case you say, hey, man, I don't want to be seen, no problem. You can put that avatar up on the screen, and voila, we'll bring you in, and people won't see you, but in fact, you will be able to be heard. So there we go. And we got some folks here also from, here we go. This is To Wisdom 88. Now he's saying Kai's a great player and a really good coach. There are a lot of things in the way of the game to get to. So I think he might be talking about Coach Raheem, maybe. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit of the Hawks. Like I said, the Hawks have won 3 straight. And the big key to the Hawks winning has really been the fact that they have really made a team final. They're playing like a team. And what does that mean? So, no disrespect to Trae Young. Trae Young, great player. If he continues on the trajectory he's on, he's got a shot to be in the Hall of Fame because, let's face it, the guy has averaged in his career in the NBA 20 and 10, basically, pretty close to that. So he's basically been a double-double his entire career. So you can't get mad at the guy for that. But at the end of the day, the way the Hawks are constructed right now, he really kind of doesn't fit on a team the way they're constructed. Their team is longer, they're leaner, they play more above the rim, and more importantly, as a group, without him, and it's got nothing to do with him being a bad guy. It's just that just physically in the NBA, you have very few small guards like they had in my day. Back in my day, growing up, 70s, 80s, 90s, even into the early 2000s, you had guys that could be 6'3" and under and perform very well at high level in the NBA construct. Today, it's very hard. You really need to be pretty much 6'4" and above because that's where all your guards are now at this point. These guys are big. You look at, for example, Dyson Daniels, and you look at, CJ McCollum. All these guys are big guys, man. They're all big. So at the end of the day, you need to be in a situation where you have the ability to match up with these players. And so the way the Hawks are constructed now, they've brought in Alexander Walker, the cousin of SGA, who was the MVP for Oklahoma City last year. He's got a lot of the same sensibilities as his cousin. Great ball handler, about 6'7", can shoot the rock. He is a scoring machine when he gets rolling, gets open. And so he's going to be a big part of this team going forward. Like I said, Dyson Daniels, this guy, I mean, you got to give the Hawks, as much as we make fun of the Hawks general manager and so forth, this Hawk team, the way it's been constructed, you got to really give them a big shout out. Like there is Alexander Walker right there, a big game last night. One of the reasons why the Hawks won. The Hawks have found a way, like I said again, to really be a team that is, in fact, can rely on multiple guys being able to impact this team in a big way. Now, so here's how it works. The Hawks last night had not one, not two, but 3 players in double figures. You had CJ McCollum with 23. You had Dyson Daniels with 22. You also had Alexander Walker with 21. And anytime you can get 3 guys on your team to score 20 points or better, most likely going to win. Let's look at the stat line overall. CJ McCollum, 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Now, that's a stat line. And he did that on 28 minutes. CJ McCollum if his ego doesn't get in the way, and Coach Quinn can continue to coach this team up in terms of playing well the whole game, because the Hawks have a nasty habit of fading out either in the first half or the second half, especially at home in the first half. I don't know whether they go to sleep or what. But if he can get this team to really give him consistently an entire game the way they play in spurts or for a half, this team is going to be dangerous in the playoffs. Why? CJ McCollum could be a guy that, even though got to Hawks late, could be a contender for 6 man of the year, because off the bench, he's been nothing but instant offense. Like I said, in the win yesterday in the afternoon, 23 points. But more importantly, he had 5 3-pointers, 3 or 4 of them in the first half when the Hawks were really struggling to get on track. And as a matter of fact, he was able to help them close an 11-point deficit to 4 points at the half, and that really was the key to kind of get them rolling. Then another 20-point score right behind him, Dyson Daniels, a guy who really was known as a defensive stopper. Remember last year, he led the league in steals, was in the top 5 in the balloting for Defensive Player of the Year. Well, now that Trey has kind of moved on, and when Trey was injured, we found out good news. This guy actually can handle the ball as a facilitator. In 35 minutes of play, 22 points, 5 rebounds, and more importantly, 9 assists to lead the Hawks in assists. And last but not least, like I mentioned, Alexander Walker, 21 points for him. Also had 3 rebounds and 3 assists, but more importantly, 5 3-pointers made. As a matter of fact, the Hawks of the team had 18 3-pointers last night. They were 18 of 43 from the floor, almost 42%. That dog will hunt all day. As much as I hate all the 3-pointers that the Hawks have a tendency of jacking up, if they could consistently shoot somewhere between 36 and 40%, like I said again, this Hawks team will win a lot of games, and they will be very, very, very dangerous as a team. So 3 guys hitting 20 points or better. And here's the other big thing, talking about team effort. 6 Hawks in double figures. That's right, 6 Hawks. That means your entire starting 5 plus one of your reserves were in double figures. Let's run it down. Like I said, the leader of the pack, CJ McCollum, in just 28 minutes, 23 points. Right behind him, Dyson Daniels, 22 points. And right behind him, Nickeil Alexander Walker with 21 points. But wait, there's more. Jalen Johnson, always in the mix. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. This guy is this close from superstar status. Onyeka Okongwu, a double-double, 12 points, 10 rebounds for him, and a block shot. And wait, there's more. Luke Kennard finally has been unleashed. Kennard now starting to give us what we thought we were going to get when they brought him over from Sacramento. 13 points, but more importantly, 3 3-pointers for him, because that's what we brought him over here for. We brought him over to shoot the deep ball. And last but not least, with 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Again, a guy they brought in as a defensive stopper, languishing on the bench for the Lakers. Christian Koloko, in just 17 minutes, put up those stats I'm talking about. Again, now they're playing against a terrible Pacers team. Pacers only won 11 games all year. Pacers actually were very dominant in the first half. But again, the Hawks stormed out in the second half, scored 72 points. But more important, like I said again, key players off the bench contributed for this Hawk victory. So, like I said, man, the Hawks are balling out. Hopefully, they can continue their stellar play right now. Because, like I said, if they're able to do this, this Hawks team could be very dangerous in postseason. All right, we're going to take a break. You listen to the Real Talk Sports Show as we're talking Hawks, and we're going to be talking Falcons, and whatever you'd like to talk about. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Don't go nowhere.
Looking for a vehicle? Come to Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We're a family-owned dealership that's been serving the Atlanta area for over 40 years, offering an unbeatable selection of new Fords, Lincolns, and pre-owned vehicles. Enjoy our exceptional customer service and great financing options tailored just for you. Visit us at 6790 Mount Zion Boulevard in Morrow, Georgia, located just 20 minutes from downtown Atlanta. Call us at 678-364-3979 or visit online at allenvigilford.net.
We're back here. Now, this is something very interesting. I put up here, you guys see me, those of you who follow this broadcast, I always have an advertisement from Allen Vigil Ford in Lincoln. The reason why is I actually, well, 2 things. Number one, he has been our premier sponsor here on the show. He is the title sponsor for high school football, which we do every season, thank God. And last but not least, he actually is my full-time employee because I do this like many people on social media. This is I don't call it a side hustle yet, it's getting there, but this is something we do and doesn't really pay us. But if you buy a car from me at Allen Vigil Ford, I will get paid. So if you need a car for yourself, or if you need a car for a family member, or more importantly, your business, because that's why I really do a lot of B2B sales, here's what you got to do. Call me, yours truly, Jonathan, at 678-364-3979. And I'll be more than happy to assist you in your vehicle needs, whether you need one for yourself or one for your business. I'll help you out. Give us a call again, 678-364-3979. As a matter of fact, why don't you take a listen to some happy clients who have already done business with me before and hear what they have to say about how they enjoyed their process at Allen Vigil Ford when they got their car. Here we go.
Congratulations. What do you think? Is it worth the wait, buddy?
I love it. I can't wait to get on the road with it.
Well, listen, man, thank you very much, and congratulations to you. Appreciate your business. Francisco, congratulations on getting a new truck from us here at Allen Vigil Ford. How did you like the experience this time?
Thank you, Nathan. All good. All perfect. Thank you.
Hopefully that came through loud and clear for you. Anyway, like I said again, check us out at Allen Vigil Ford in Lincoln. Give me a call, 678-364-3979, and we'll be more than happy to assist you in your vehicle needs for yourself or for your business. Either one, we'll take care of you. All right, so like I said again, man, the Hawks are balling out, won 3 straight games. Like I said again, this team looks poised if, if in fact they can find a way to be a little bit more consistent as far as showing you what they give you just in flashes, which is great ball movement, good defense in terms of being able to switch properly, in terms of being able to kind of fill in and play in the gaps, so to speak, in the passing lanes. If they can do that and they can keep an up-tempo style of play, the Hawks are going to be a dangerous team come the second half of the season after All-Star break. So again, I think the Hawks are going to do it up big. What do you think? Do you think the Hawks have finally turned the corner, they got together, or do you think it's just something that's like smoke and mirrors? Let me know. Hit us up. Like I say again, for those of you who have just tuned in, we are going to allow you to be on the show. Here's how it works. There it is right there. There's a link on social media. You can paste that into your browser, or you can also do it on your phone, and voila, you will be on the show. We'll see you in the green room. We'll bring you on because I said right now our phones are not set up to take phone calls. We'll be working on that. So hopefully when we come on sometime in the spring, we will be able to have you actually call us on the phone. So there we go. Meanwhile, let's look around at the rest of the NBA, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the 2 championship games, which were really good games for the most part, especially the visual of the snowfall and the defense and the closeness of the game. Denver versus New England, which New England, of course, won in a squeaker 10-7. Denver scored early in the first quarter, and their offense after that just couldn't do anything at all. And also the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks, lots of big plays. And of course, there's always some controversial calls in both of those games, which kind of tarnished the outcomes of the games. But they were outstanding games, nevertheless, to watch. And I think that everybody is jacked. They're saying that Super Bowl tickets are the highest they've been in years. So we shall see about that. But yeah, man, great games. 31-27, the Seattle Seahawks playing the Rams for the 3rd time, get the victory and go back to the Super Bowl where they have not been in a decade. Last time they were there, ironically, was against the New England Patriots, where mysteriously, Pete Carroll decided to throw a pass after Marshawn Lynch had been running the ball down the throat to the Patriot, and it looks like that they were going to run it in for a touchdown and win their 2nd consecutive Super Bowl. But instead, they decided, just like the Falcons, not to run the ball and allow Tom Brady and the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. But there's no Tom Brady this year. Drake may or may not be ready to go. Excuse me, that's exactly. Yeah. So Drake May, we're not sure. Hopefully, he'll be ready to go in the Super Bowl. He was a little banged up, but he looked pretty good against Denver. So if that be the case, it's going to be very interesting. But the Seattle Seahawks defense is stout. It's not the Legion of Boom, but it's the same concept. Their defense is very, very difficult to deal with. Although Rams did put up 27 points against them, at the end of the day, this Seattle defense, second or third most sacks, I think, behind Denver and Falcons, which didn't even get to postseason, but that's a whole nother story. So like I said, should be a good one. Out in Frisco, we will be giving you some updates from there. There's still up to question whether the minister will be there live and in person, but our good friend Trey Dolman, who is a friend of this show, she will be out there. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Queen, I'm going to show you a little clip from the last time we were at the Super Bowl together. She is part of the association. Let me see if I get this right. I think it's the Off the Field NFL Wives Association. And this is her stripping her stuff on the red carpet. And that's the lovely Miss Dolman. She will be bringing us updates from the Super Bowl. Like I said, again, I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it out there with her, but nevertheless, good Lord willing, she will be giving some updates. And I'm sure most of you would rather see her than see me anyway. So there you go. Like I said, again, let's take a look at these two teams and the games last week. The championship games. First, let's take a look at the NFC championship game. The stats for the game. Say it was a close one. Let's take a look at the videotape. First of all, you no matter what happens, whether he comes back and decides to play another season or not, it's irrelevant. This guy had a season for the ages. I'm talking about Matthew Stafford capped off his scintillating season this year with a great performance for the ages. Let's take a look at his stats here in this game here, and you couldn't ask for anything better. Matthew Stafford, 22 of 35, 3 touchdowns, and not one interception. Spread the ball around and had 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 6 different Ram receivers touch the ball as far as reception, and 5 different Ram receivers had at least 2 receptions. And the guy, of course, that put on an electrifying show, Puka Nacua, 9 receptions, 165 yards, was unstoppable all day, had 14 targets, caught 9, averaged almost just over 18 yards a catch and a touchdown. Devontae Adams, totally rejuvenated after coming away from the Raiders, 4 receptions, 89 yards, including a touchdown for him. Kobe Parkinson also was big, 3 catches, 62 yards, 21 yards, a reception almost. Yeah, man, the Rams just, like I said again, you got to give your hats off, have to go to Matthew Stafford. Like I said again, electrifying performance for him, but wasn't enough as they went down 31-27. Meanwhile, another guy, again, big ups, a guy who was disregarded by Minnesota. They felt they could do better with a rookie that was coming off an injury. So Sam Darnold, again, was moved on from the team he played on, even though he played very well. And he now is going to the Super Bowl. He actually outplayed Stafford, 25 of 36, 346 in the air, 3 touchdowns, even though he was sacked 3 times. And Darnold, just like Stafford, spread the ball around. But the big guy was Jackson Smith and Gidba. Hey, man, this guy put on a show. 10 receptions and 12 targets, 153 yards, and a touchdown, and he just could not be stopped all day long. Him and Nacua just were going back and forth, but he was the bomb. And speaking of bomb, Rashid Shaheed out of the backfield, his one pass, 51 yards to set up a Rams score. Also, Kenneth Walker coming out of the backfield, 4 receptions, 49 yards, 12.2 yards to carry. Like I said again, man, big shout out to the performance by Sam Darnold. And he quit himself fairly well in terms of staying out of trouble. He had 3 rushes for 9 yards, including 1 for 14 yards and a first down. So, yeah, man, big shout out to Sam Darnold. Kudos for a guy. It just shows you what happens when you just say, hey, man, I am not going to let anything defeat me. I'm going to push, man. I don't care what happens. I don't care if people don't like me. I don't care if people say I can't do it. this guy said, "Hey, I'm making up my mind here that I am going to continue to play in the NFL. Any team that will sign me, I'm gonna give my best." Now, this guy, the other thing too, that reputation, oh, he's gonna choke in the big game, da 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 da. Like I said, all that stuff is out the window. This guy balled out, and now he finds himself in the Super Bowl for the very first time. So again, big shout out to Sam Darnold, and big shout out also to the Seattle Seahawks and getting set up for the rematch with the Patriots. Now, you also got to give a big shout out to the Patriots. You know, at the end of the day, who knew that they were going to be able to get to the Super Bowl? We'll talk about this. Their team was terrible last year. Matter of fact, I heard one guy say that he figured the Jets were going to finish ahead of them this year. Not so fast, young man. Basically, Mike Vrabel combined all the knowledge that he learned from playing under Bill Belichick, playing with Tom Brady, and of course, coaching the Titans. Remember, this is a guy that won 13 games with the Titans a few years ago. So this is no amateur. And to his credit, he took care of business. He took care of business. He got his team there. And a lot of Falcons fans are feeling some kind of way because this is a guy to interview with Atlanta. And instead of getting him, we got Raheem. And I don't want, listen, I'm going to tell you something here at the end of the day. As much as I was very unhappy with a lot of play calling and the things that Raheem did, and certainly some of the bad draft picks in the upper rounds that Terry Fontenot made, and probably the most egregious one maybe is drafting Kyle Pitts and not picking up the alignment for the Lions. I'm drawing a why am I drawing a blank right now? It's unbelievable. I hate when I do this. Anyway, this Penei Sewell, he was available at 4, and just imagine Penei Sewell on the Falcons. You know, who knows? Matt Ryan might still be playing. Just saying. So, you know, at the end of the day, they drafted Pitts, and outside that one season with Matt Ryan, don't get me wrong, he played well, but he was not. Penei Sewell has been a dominant offensive lineman, probably one of the best ones in the league. And unfortunately, it like I say again, Kyle Pitts has given us basically 1 3/4 of a good year. Like you said, outstanding in Matt's first year, but like I said, Penei Sewell has been a repeated Pro Bowler since his rookie year with Detroit. And like I say again, you put him again with Chris. You have to forgive me, guys. I come home from work and my mind just goes. Okay, but you put him with the stud lineman that the Falcons have already, and you say to yourself, man, hey, what could have happened, you know, had this guy been able to kind of maybe, you know, get together with the Falcons line. Because the Falcons line, they can run the ball. They can run that ball. So you got to say to yourself, man, Chris Lindstrom, that's it. So imagine him and Chris Lindstrom being on that same team, and a healthy Kelly McGarry, what the Falcons could have done offensively with that setup. Because here's the thing, as good as Kyle Pitts played in that first year, if you remember, we had some offensive talent at the tight end anyway. If you remember, Arthur Smith brought in, you know, guys, see, this is what makes you get out of sports talk radio when you can't remember people's things. Jonnu Smith. If you remember that, Jonnu Smith, and Jonnu was good. I mean, Jonnu was able to run the ball. He was a great pass catcher. So imagine if you had Penei Sewell, Jonnu Smith was now getting all the reps. I mean, who knows? Like I said, Matt Ryan might still be playing, and we might have had a couple of playoff appearances, number 2. And number 3, now I know Desmond Ridder looked like a deer in the headlights, but who knows under Matt Ryan's tutelage what he could have been. Because originally, remember, that was the setup. That was it. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. Hopefully our guests will be able to join us, and we'll talk a little Falcons. We'll also talk a little bit about the Patriots, because we don't want to ignore them, because they were impressive in their run. All right, you listen to the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Don't go nowhere. Thank you.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
All right, guys, we're back here more the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the minister. That's why I'm actually a real live minister, and we'll talk about that at the end of the broadcast. I am a minister of the gospel of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and that is the most important thing on my agenda at any time. The fact that you get to know him, as I've done myself. But we'll get into that at the end of the broadcast. Remember, you can follow me anywhere on social media at Minister J Sim, or you can follow the show. That's really the important thing. Follow the show at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. Please, man, please, sir, check us out. We would love to. We'd love to have you follow us. That we are at Real Talk Sports, the number 7, or follow me personally at Minister Jason. We would love to, in fact, have you join us. Follow us. We're getting there. Another thing I want to give a big shout out to those of you who have got us over the 2,100 subscriber mark on YouTube. We're at 2,110 subscribers. So thank you, and thank you for those of you who have done that. We greatly appreciate you for getting us there. Let's take a look at the New England Patriots. Like I said again, Broncos came out of the chute firing. They had a touchdown, a bomb in the first quarter, and that was it. After that, the Broncos offense went into hiding as Jarrett Stidham had no understanding on what to do. 17 of 31 for Stidham, 133 yards. Really 50 of them or 58 of them on that one big play, one touchdown, and a costly interception, which really allowed the Patriots kind of salt the game away. Meanwhile, Drake May, 10 of 21, only 86 yards. But the key thing is no interception, even though the Broncos, which had led the league in sacks, sacked them 5 times, he did not turn the ball over, and that was critical. Meanwhile, the other thing is his wheels did the talking. A la Cam Newton, 10 carries, 65 yards. Average actually had the highest average for any runner in that game, 6.5 yards a carry, including a 28-yard run, and later in the ball game, a touchdown for the Patriots. So, hey man, you got to give them, give them their props. Here's the other thing that's kind of funny. Remember I was talking about the Falcons? This is what shows you when you don't have people that are good judges of character. Guess who led the Patriots in receptions in the championship game? A guy the Falcons somehow didn't have room for. Mac Hollins, he was on the Falcons and Arthur Smith, 2 receptions, 51 yards, caught both targets that he had, critical receptions, and now he finds himself into the Super Bowl, and he's off a team that couldn't make it. So big shout out to Mac Hollins, who finds himself going into Super Bowl. If you remember Mac Hollins, this guy that sometimes would be out there in bare feet. So Mac, you did it. You trusted with the Falcons. They couldn't see your work, and now you are heading and attempting to get to the Super Bowl. But like I said, it was one of those games where it's just a defensive slugfest. I mean, neither team really did much of anything. Like I said, 5 sacks for Denver. 3 sacks for the Patriots. Snow, blizzard conditions. Neither team could do much of anything. But like I said, the Patriots did just enough to win that ball game, and now they find themselves, like I said, in a rematch against the Seattle Seahawks. Let's see, check in our green room, see if our guests have arrived. They have not arrived yet, but hopefully they will be arriving sooner rather than later. I'm going to go now to my text and see if I've got any breaking news. Nope, not yet. But like I said again, hopefully our guests will join us in the not too distant future. Now I'm going to try to see if I can share the screen for you. As I mentioned to you earlier, the Falcons had their press conference for the new head coach, Kevin Stefanski. Now, again, someone mentioned this on Sports Talk Radio. It was Buck Belue. For those of you who are young, you don't know this guy, but Buck Belue, before Kirby era began, he actually led the Georgia Bulldogs to their first championship, which was back in 1980. until Kirby came along and won back-to-back years, 2021 and 2022. The Bulldogs were blank, man. They didn't win anything. So Buck came on and said, hey, man, the guy should have been in a situation where he was at Senior Bowl, which is where D. Orlando Ledbetter, the beat writer for the Falcons, premier beat writer, is right now. He's trying to get on the line with us. But, let me see if I can get this thing up on YouTube. So maybe I can share the screen and get a little peek of this here. Head coach Kevin Stefanski. Like I said, again, visually, everybody talked about the guy was smooth. He looked good, nice suit, hair cropped, everything on and popping. But at the end of the day, who cares about that? The main thing is we want to see if, hey, is this guy going to be able to lead this team to a title? And why on earth did the Falcons decide to have the press conference today and not before? And last but not least, here's something I'm kind of baffled about. Why this team did not right away, number one. And number two, why, in fact, did the Falcons still don't have a general manager? All right, let's see if we can go to this press conference. You got to take a look. I'm going to try to share this. It may not work because my screen's a little bulky. We're going to try it. We're going to see if we can do it, guys. So hang tight. Let's see if we can share the screen. Let's see if it works here.
To everybody.
And here is Coach Kevin Stefanski and Matt Ryan. There they are right now. Here's Matt looking nice and crisp. Nice suit. And Stefanski will be coming on in just a moment. Okay. I realized that, unfortunately, I realized I'm not getting any, some of them not getting any volume really here with this. So we're going to have to get out of there. Like I said, guys, I'm not sure what's going on, why we can't hear the volume from Matt Ryan, but nevertheless, that's him. And we're going to get them off of there. Because we're getting a lot of feedback. Again, we apologize for all of that bad noise we're getting. We're going to go ahead and reboot this again. Just hang tight. We're going to reboot our screen and we'll be back in just a moment for more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Don't go nowhere. We're going to get it straight. Hang on.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
I'm back, guys. We're going to try to see if we can get one of our guests for the evening. He does a lot here in our community, especially in the high school front. Matter of fact, he has something called a student athlete playbook, which is a guideline for good performance and also for good moral standards for high school students. And it's simply called the student athlete playbook. We're going to bring him back to our stage. Our good friend, Mr. Barry Brown, is back in the building. Barry, welcome back, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing great, sir. We're going to go social media here. We got some great comments from our good friend, Mr. Bernard Benjamin. He was talking about the interview. I know you were kind of rushing in. We kind of caught. Barry's a family man, and I be dragging him onto the show. He's trying to take care of his wife there at the house, and he's like, "Hey, man, I got stuff to do." And matter of fact, he was at, I believe, it was, an event that his daughter was doing. So he rushed back, and we thank God for him. But anyway, Bernard Benjamin says, "Good evening. Hope all is well. Looking at the interview, really didn't see anything that will get you excited about this decision." And of course, Barry, he's talking about the recent hiring of Coach Kevin Stefanski. I know you have some comments about the coach. So tell us what your thoughts about, number one, them selecting him, and number two, if in fact you caught any of the press conference today with him and Matt Ryan on the docket.
Yes, sir. Well, I did not see the press conference. However, when you when you start talking, so I'm looking forward to hearing your views about the press conference today. However, I'm not terribly excited about the hire. I think there were some better coaches out there that will probably be a better fit. Now, to Stefanski's defense, I did hear a young lady, I think she works with CBS. They interviewed her on another local sports talk radio show here in Atlanta, and she was giving some details behind the scene about Stefanski. Now, he probably is a great guy. I don't know. I've never met him. I don't know anybody that knows him. However, when the best thing that someone can say about you is that you are a nice guy, and the best thing they can say about you is you won Coach of the Year twice, but you have a very subpar head coaching record, well under 500, then now it looks like people are just trying to put on a show and make excuses for the hire. And so I do believe he's a nice guy. I do believe he was working with Gabriel and Sanders and giving them extra reps and stuff on different days of the week up there in Cleveland. However, in the NFL, it's all about winning. And there was nothing I saw from his interviews while he was still the head coach of Cleveland, the information he shared with the public about the quarterback situation, and their win and loss record, specifically these last two seasons, gives me anything to be excited about Stefanski. Then you have the audacity to bring in the offensive coordinator that was with you up there that does not call the plays. So now it's like, what are we going to do differently? Because the Falcons were already better than the Browns before he came. So all of a sudden, this gentleman is supposed to take the Falcons from 8-9 to what? What is he supposed to take them to? Because he doesn't have a track record for doing that. So, hey, I'm going to do the wait and see, Jonathan. And I'm praying as an Atlanta Falcons fan, I'm praying that they know something. Matt Ryan and the whole team out there at Flowery Branch with the Atlanta Falcons know something that we do not know. That's what I'm praying. And I'm praying when September comes, not preseason, when the ball kicks off for the first game of the season, we see a team that can contend and get to the playoffs. That's what I want to see. If we don't see that, then we might as well have kept Coach Mars and continue to build on that. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm going to have to go into hibernation mode and just wait until the season starts in September, because this is not an exciting, sexy, or any kind of coaching pick, in my opinion.
Well, let's look some plus sides. He's a young guy. He's younger than you or I, as a matter of fact. He's just the rightful age of 43. And he became one of the younger coaches in the NFL 5 years ago when Cleveland hired him. Now, to his credit, in his very first year with Cleveland, he was 11-5 in the very tough NFC North and got to the playoffs. Now, of course, which always happens a lot of times when you get to the playoffs, oftentimes it's coupled by the fact that if you were a bad team the year before, you play a weaker schedule. Correct. So we've seen the Falcons do that in their previous construction. The next year, they came back to earth, but again, right about where we were, 8-9. The year after that, 7-10. But in 2023, the second time we won Coach of the Year, they were 11-6 and actually won, I believe, a game in the playoffs.
Right, that's right.
And keep in mind, this is winning in a time where you have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have never had a losing record under Mike Tomlin's tenure, and the introduction of one of the most electrifying players in the league in Lamar Jackson. So you got to give him some credit for that. And I don't know about you, but can you name any star players off that Cleveland team back then? I can't.
You talking about back then?
Yeah.
No, sir, I cannot. However, let me say this. Sir. I mean, well, you had Myles Garrett. I mean, he was there. He was there on that last team for sure.
Yep, on that last team, no doubt. Yep.
Yeah, no doubt. So I mean, they got players because they were getting all those first round draft picks, and their defense has been solid. So I'm glad you mentioned those. I'm glad you mentioned those 2 seasons when they did very well, and that's good. However, you know this, Jonathan. This is a "What have you done for me lately" league.
What have you done for me lately?
You just saw the Buffalo Bills, which has been one of the best teams in the NFL for the last several years. You just saw them fire their coach. So, hey, man, again, miss me with all this Coach of the Year stuff. It means nothing right now because this dude clearly lost the locker room in Cleveland. That's it. I mean, it's as simple as that. This is not one of them situations where you let Harbaugh go in Baltimore. Yeah, it's just time for him to move on. But everybody in the world knows Harbaugh is a very good coach, right? Anybody would want to get Harbaugh in their organization, right? This is not Mike Tomlin, the guy who's never had a losing record. I'm talking he's going to the playoff with a reindeer playing quarterback. I mean, it doesn't matter. He can have a dude with one arm playing quarterback, and he's going to get to the playoffs. It's amazing. This is not that situation. This is not one of them. Watch this. I'm even go here. This is not even Belichick, man. Think about it. This is not even Belichick.
Hey, man, you throwing shit on Belichick because they ain't put him in the Hall of Fame, but they didn't get him out of the league.
No, sir. I'm giving props to Belichick. So
guys, one of the top. This is cold-blooded, but guys, one of the top 5 winningest coaches in NFL history. He has coached on more Super Bowl winning teams than anybody.
Correct.
Okay? And they said, "Good news, you wilding out. You ain't getting it this year." Yeah,
now hold on, John. Let me make sure I understand this. Don't the coaches have to be out for 5 years, or the coaches can go in immediately?
Maybe not. All I know is I saw something that headlines about Belichick. Well, now let me read this thing here. Let me see if I got the headlines wrong.
Yeah, I thought they had to wait 5 years too.
This is what it says. Report: Bill Belichick will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Just comes in and says he falls short of a first ballot Hall of Famer despite having 6 Super Bowl wins as a head coach. And not only that, I think 2 more as defensive coordinator for the Giants. You're talking about the guy has been on the staff or head coach 8 Super Bowl championships. 8.
Wow.
Dude, that's more than multiple teams combined. 8. And they say, good news, you're not going in this year.
Interesting. I didn't even know he was eligible to go in. So what's the rules for coaches? So coaches can go in immediately, I'm assuming?
I'm not sure, but this is what it says. This is a headline from ESPN. Bill Belichick, the 8-time Super Bowl winning coach, is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. It says in voting earlier this month, Belichick fell short of the 40 out of 50 votes needed to be inducted into the Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. It says Bill Belichick got a call from the Hall representative last Friday afternoon and says several coaches, several people who spoke with the coach over the weekend described Belichick as, quote, puzzled and, quote, disappointed by his inability to secure support from at least 80% of the Hall committee members.
That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. He should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I didn't know what the rules were for coaches going in, but obviously they can go in immediately. So that's ridiculous. He should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, hands down. Hands down.
What that lets you know is that it ain't just T.O. that they will get you against the
well, as an adage, and always thank you for the great introduction when we come on the show. But this is now let's get serious for a second, Jonathan. This is what we talk about with youth education and sports. Character matters. So when people go around doing whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do, however they want to do it, there's consequences to our actions. There's consequences to what we actually say. So you're right, Jonathan. Bill Belichick is obviously, because his credentials, his resume, there's nothing you can say about that. So now, because of the situation, I guess the people that choose whoever's going into the Hall of Fame are clearly saying, hey, man, we don't like you. And we're going to make you wait on purpose, which is absolutely ridiculous. But character does matter. It does matter what we do. It does matter how we treat people. And like you talk about all the time, Jonathan, we should treat people with care and consideration. So we're doing sports talk radio. We're having a lot of fun talking about the different players, the different coaches changes. But at the end of the day, and I'm talking to every single person out there, every single student athlete, every single parent, every single coach on the youth level, people are human beings. People have feelings. Every single person on this planet has something going on, regardless if they're rich and wealthy or poor as all outdoors. Every single person has feelings. And every single person should be treated with respect. And we should carry ourselves like people that care for each other. And that's how we rock, man, with youth education and sports. And that's what we teach the young people that are in our program about goal setting, vision, focus, habits, work ethic, financial literacy, and of course, character. So, hey, Jonathan, hey, man, shout out to Bill Belichick. He's going to get in one day. That's for sure. However, he may have to do a press conference and apologize to some reporters and things of that nature, and go on and get into the Hall of Fame, man. Because he's definitely more than deserving to go in my opinion.
You can say this, but Robert Kraft might have jammed him, bro. Because Kraft, think about it. The Hall of Fame guys, I believe, are rolled out before the Super Bowl. There's no way Robert Kraft, I think, would have wanted Bill coming out there with his boys playing against. I'm just saying, I could be wrong, but it could be some shade, because a lot of people are saying that's why Belichick ended up not being the coach here with the Falcons. Is that at the last minute, Arthur called, his man up. Nah, man, you don't want that guy.
Right.
Now, how much of that is true, I don't know, but that's what the rumor was on the street.
Yeah, well, he wants control. He wanted full control, and we saw what he has done at North Carolina. Put his son as the coach in waiting, so he might have been saying all of that, man. At the end of the day, ownership is what matters. And if you don't own the team and you're not calling the shots, then hey, it is what it is. Hey, man, we're not trying to have you have full control of this organization. And no, you cannot make your son the coach in waiting in our program, in our franchise. So hey, there it is. Yeah, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, that's not what I want as an owner.
And who knows? I don't know if necessarily he did that, but you don't know what he said. I mean, Bill said he didn't ask for any of that stuff. And actually, Arthur Blank came out later and said that he didn't ask for any kind of full control. So we don't know what happened. Now, I'm going to get back to this Stefanski thing again, on why the Falcons might have picked him and why.
Yeah, break it down to me, sir.
even though why this guy was persona non grata for a second because of the way he slim shaded the Falcons with, oh, I'm not hurt, but I am hurt. Oh, I didn't talk to the Falcons before, so they lose a draft pick, but I did.
Right.
In 2019, the Minnesota Vikings were 10-5 and won the opening round playoff game against the New Orleans Saints. Their quarterback at the time was a one Kirko Cousins. And that year, Mr. Cousins went to the Pro Bowl. And this is what his stats were for that season. Mr. Cousins, in 15 games, threw for 3,603 yards. He had 26 touchdowns and just a skimpy 6 interceptions for the season, while Mr. Stefanski was the offensive coordinator calling the plays. Now, I know that the Falcons have said, hey, they haven't said this, but they have maneuvered this contract in such a way that you would think Kirko would be cut. But keep in mind, you got a situation where you have a coach that was the OC when your backup quarterback, who's not a starter, had a Pro Bowl season. You have a quarterback that you drafted who originally was supposed to sit 2 years under this veteran quarterback, who's not been able to do that at all. And, oh, by the way, is coming off of some type of major leg injury where even if everything goes perfect, he wouldn't be able to start the season most likely. So now either you have a choice. You can now get a new quarterback in, which now to Kevin Stefanski, right or wrong, he's been able to, in his career, coach a lot of different quarterbacks. So I'm not saying he's deficient in doing that, but I'm saying I'm sure it would be a lot easier to coach somebody you already knew and you call plays for. So I'm telling everybody right now, the minister is putting it out there. Don't be surprised if we get Kirko 2.0 with Mr. Stefanski. Don't be shocked.
No,
if somehow the Stefanski comes in and says, look here, man, once you hang out for a year, do what you, because here's the thing. This is what was supposed to happen anyway.
Anyway,
it's cost so much money, but the original game plan was Kirk signed a 4-year contract. You want to get Cousins at least 1, possibly 2 years on the bench, watching Kirk, learning everything from Kirk, and then taking over the reins after the Falcons that went to back-to-back playoffs. Playoffs. And then he would gently get the handoff from Kirk. And Kirk would ride off into the sunset with hopefully at least 1 or 2 playoff wins and possibly even a Super Bowl. And the wife would be happy because she's from Georgia, right from here, and it would have been a perfect scenario. Well, all that thing got screwed up. So now I'm sure that I'm telling you, the Falcons have had conversations with, hey, man, even when you poke this in the eye, you basically are our best available. And I'm sure that the fans will say, hey, man, remember, we got the playoffs together before.
Yes.
You're saying. Yeah. All right, let's go to social media real quick. Barry, maybe you can read this for us. I'm kind of, what you got there? Bernard Benjamin, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Coach. Totally surprised about Bill not being a first-round pick in the Hall of Fame. Hey, guys, keep up your positive attitude and passion on coaching and motivating our kids. God, they need it. That's right, with all the money being thrown at them, even before they get to the next level. Love you guys. Peace and blessings. Oh, man. Bernard Benjamin, thank you, man. Thank you. That's I want to address what Benjamin just said, but I want to go to Kirk Cousins first, Jonathan. No, I agree with you 100%. I wasn't a big Kirk Cousins guy. I did watch the quarterback show on Netflix, Quarterback, the first season of it, and I loved it. Learned a lot more about Kirk Cousins. He's a great guy, man. You like that? You like that? I know you like that. I love it when he does that. So Kirk Cousins is a good NFL quarterback. Is he the best NFL quarterback? Absolutely not. Not even close. However, he can win you some games. You saw him do it at the end of the season, won 4 games in a row. He's a good, steady quarterback. He's just probably not a championship caliber quarterback. Now, can he get super hot and do what he does? Yes, we saw him last season before he got hurt, throw for 500 some yards in the game. So he was on his way to taking us to the playoffs, and then he got hurt. But he just did not tell everybody he was hurt. And so, hey, he played hurt, and we saw what happened. And it was just detrimental to the whole team. And that's when coaching and ownership has to step in and say, hey, come on, man. Sit down. You still our starter. We're going to get the young man in there and let's go. So hopefully, since he's already here, hey, let's run with Kirk Cousins again and let's see what he can do. That's it. And then when Penix gets healthy, then they can compete for the job. That's what I think they should do. Hopefully that's what they do. And let's roll with it, man. We don't need to bring in another quarterback that's possibly worse than Kirk Cousins. We do not need to do that. So let's roll with Kirk. Wait for Penix to get healthy, and then let's reevaluate at that time. That's my opinion, and I'm gonna stick with that, Jonathan. Now to Mr. Benjamin, hey man, thank you, brother, for watching the show. I'm glad you like what we talk about, how we talk about it. Mr. Simmons is a great guy, so I'm very honored and thankful he allows me to come on here and speak sports with him. So yes, it's no question, man. Our young people are facing something that Mr. Simmons and I never faced in our lives or saw it in our lives, where student athletes, even at the high school level, can now get these name, image, likeness deals and actually get paid for being outstanding athletes. Now, they're supposed to be students. I'm kind of worried about that part because everybody walking around with their hands out. But we're going to still call them student athletes because here's the reality. The majority of these young people are still actually going to class. The majority of these young people are actually doing what they're supposed to do. Now, there's these graduate transfers and things of that nature. Yeah, I don't know how much school they really doing. But some of these younger guys absolutely are going to class and doing what they're supposed to do. And we salute all of them. Now, here's what we have to do. You heard me talk about financial literacy, Mr. Benjamin. What we have to do as parents, uncles, grandparents, we have to teach our kids about money, how money works, how money flows, because these young people are seeing major dollars, more money than they've ever seen in their lives, probably more money than anybody in their family has ever seen in their lives. So now, at this point, now they have to learn financial literacy. They have to learn how money works, how to earn money, how to save money, how to invest money. They know how to spend it, that's for sure. But we have to teach them how to save it and invest it so they can have long-term stability, long-term wealth, and they can help take their family from one level of life to another level of life. And that's going to take some education. That's going to take some financial literacy. And that's what youth education in sports is all about. Teaching our young people how to set goals, teaching our young people how to accomplish those goals, and then develop and grow into the outstanding adults they're destined to be. So, hey man, we right there with you, Benjamin. Hey, you keep working on your end. We're gonna keep working on our end. And matter of fact, hey, let's just work together, brother, and make great things happen for our young people in all the communities that we're in by far. Yes, sir. So shout out to all the young men, the young ladies that are signing these NIL deals. Shout out to you and your families. And hey, man, make good decisions. Make good decisions with your money. Earn the money, save the money, invest the money. And hey, you'll be happy that you did. I promise you that.
We were trying to wait for Theo Leonard Ledbetter. He told me his ETA as far as arrival to Mobile, because he's going for the Senior Bowl, was about this time. But I was thinking that Mobile was an hour behind us, but evidently I guess they must be on the same time clock, because D-Led has not appeared in the studio yet. So we're going to wrap it up because normally we go to 7, 8 p.m. So we're not going to belabor the time.
Yes, sir.
You know how we do it, though. We want to make sure that people know how to find out about our guests or co-hosts. So, Mr. Barry Brown, the floor is yours.
Hey, Jonathan. Well, thank you, man. One of the things I want to say real quick is shout out to you, man, and what you do to make Real Talk Sports a true show for people to listen and learn from. So thank you for that, man. And always giving honor and praise to God. I love it. I am Barry Brown, Coach Brown, author of the #1 book for youth student athletes around the world, the Student Athlete Playbook, Success in the Classroom, Sports, and Life. and also a member of the leadership team for Youth Education and Sports. Yes, the nonprofit organization that meets young people where they are and helps them develop into the outstanding adults they're destined to be. You can find me facebook.com/student athlete playbook. You can go to our website, youtheducationandsports.org. And hey, if you do not have your copy of the Student Athlete Playbook, visit Madu Bookstore in Greenbrier Mall. They're going out of business. They're going to be closing the doors after 30 amazing years. Stop by there, get your copy of the Student Athlete Playbook, and say thank you to Sister Madu over there, Sister Nia over there at Madu Bookstore. And you can also go out to the South Lake area, Morrow. Shout out to those Morrow High School Mustangs, my alma mater. And you can holler at Marcus at Nubian Books in the South Lake, Morrow, Georgia area, and get everything you need from the Student Athlete Playbook to all your sorority and fraternity paraphernalia. Hey, man, appreciate you, Jonathan. And always, and then, of course, you can go on Amazon, amazon.com, Kindle books, and you can order your Student Athlete Playbook materials from Amazon. So, Jonathan, thank you, my brother. As always, tune in to Real Talk Sports on Tuesday nights with the Jonathan Simmons.
I got it. Barney Brown. Barry, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Guys, we'll wrap it up. As I mentioned to you, I'm actually a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And so what are you talking about, brother? Well, you see all the crazy stuff that's going on in this world. You got to know, man, that time is wrapping up. And, people say, why do we need Jesus? Well, it's really explained in this way. I thought about this a couple of times before, but it really was fleshed out by a gentleman who's really, the Lord has blessed to really reach out to the youth and bring them to Christ in a spectacular way. And that's Pastor Philip Anthony Mentor of the 2819 Church, which is based right here in Atlanta. It is expanded to the point where they actually hold services in the old Tyler Perry studio building. And he pointed out something. He said, it's people say, well, if I do good things, I'm a nice person, I don't do anything bad, why do I have to, quote unquote, be born again? It's because, in fact, that the only way you can be getting into heaven is being perfect. Jesus Christ said, I'm going to return for a people, a church without spot or wrinkle. So just imagine now if you had a white shirt completely white, starch, man, it's on a popping, and a little speck got on it. No matter how the rest of that shirt was white, it's still not spotless. It's not perfect. Well, that's the same thing with us. God is perfect. So the only thing that's going to be around him in heaven is perfection. So here's the thing. You say, well, I haven't committed a crime, but you've thought about it. And Jesus said, if you think about a thing, for example, he talked about adultery. He said, hey, if you even think about committing adultery with a woman, it's like you've done it already. So therefore, you have imperfection. So now, good news, you have to work it out for yourself. If you repent of your sins, believe that Jesus Christ came here, fully God, fully man, and died for your sins, but more importantly, rose from the dead, voila, you're set. Two great things happen. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number two, you become an adopted child of God with all the rights therein. That means you now can go to God like a heavenly parent, asking for anything that you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. And number two, like I just mentioned, you are now officially a citizen of heaven. So when you die, you go to that wonderful, spectacular place called heaven where there's none of the following. There's no pandemic. There's no pain. You never get old. You never die. You never cry. It never gets dark because the glory of God illuminates the entire kingdom. And if you talking about bling, you never see anything like this. Every single building adorned with the most spectacular jewels ever made. As a matter of fact, the streets are paved with a gold that's so pure it's translucent. And you avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the things I just mentioned won't be there. In fact, it's the opposite. It's dark, it's dreary, it's fire, it's painful, and you're locked in with the devil, his demonic host, and all the most evil people in the world. And you're cut off from God and all the people of love, Jesus Christ, the angels, and many of you might have aunties and grandmamas and friends that are there. You're cut off from them forever and a day. I don't know about you. I like option number one instead of option number two. All right, guys, until the next time we get back together again, we simply say God bless you and have a wonderful rest of the day or evening, whichever may apply. So long and take care.